Welcome to first and only SaaS Talk Show featured on LinkedIn. Today, we're going to discuss how companies outside of US can break into the Fortune 1000 enterprise market. And we will be joined by our special guest, Anand Muralidaran from Iconic Mindset. If you're watching our show for the first time, be sure to check out our LinkedIn company page for access to more episodes. And I will leave a link to SaaS Growth Ventures in the comments below. In a recent article published on LinkedIn, our guest Anand Muralidaran shared with us some great insights on breaking into the US Fortune 1000 market. American enterprises continue to dominate US B2B sales, but there are things that companies can do to land and expand business in US. Anand points out that the first and most important thing for working your way into US enterprise market is having a clear go-to-market vision, strategy, and execution model. Successful American companies are known to have strong company and product visions, and these are the things worth including in your go-to-market strategy. And then also highlights some cultural mindsets that may be holding back companies outside of the US. Especially, he discusses the need for many aspiring companies to change their attitude about the failure. And then argues that the failure can be acceptable outcome if you have the proper mindset and use that failure to fuel growth, learning, and successful pivots. Here to talk with us more about breaking into US Fortune 1000 market is Anand Muralidaran. He's a founder and CEO at Iconic Mindset, where he works to bridge the gaps between B2B startups and enterprises as well as the investors. Please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit more about your passion and superpower, Anand.
Thanks a lot for the phenomenal introduction, Arthur. And thanks for the opportunity and thanks for doing this incredible service to the SaaS community across the globe. And I wish you all the best in doing a lot more episodes and adding a lot more value to your subscribers and audience. Like you introduced, I'm Anand. I'm living my dream in Silicon Valley, running this venture called Iconic Mindset. At Iconic Mindset, we are on a laser-focused mission to bridge the growing wedge between, like you said, enterprises which need innovation and startups which have aspiration to grow and differentiate and deliver incredible value to enterprises. The investors play a financial catalyst role in this equation, so we work with all three of them, investors, enterprises, and startups, and create an ecosystem in connecting the dots on innovation for enterprises and startups. Before I did this, I loved my 24 years in enterprise consulting, sales, and building large global portfolios with marquee consulting companies and with global Fortune 2000 customers like Walmart, News Corp, and many others. I also had the privilege of playing multiple roles from sales, consulting, venture evangelist roles at global SIs, venture capitalists, and great SaaS startups before this. I love, in terms of superpowers, I love sitting in the room with a customer, with my team, solving their most toughest problem and putting a twinkle on their eyes and creating magic in the room is something that I live for, and which is what I want to pass it back to the community of startups, saying, while you create great products and solutions, how do you create that magic for the customer in that context is what I want to do. And we are on this mission at Iconic Mindset to give back this superpower, this experience, this passion to startups who can leverage and reach their highest potential. And I've assembled a great team across US and UK who are super smart, intelligent, and super achievers who are willing to help the startups reach their potential. Thank you.
Excellent. Well, thank you. It's great to have you on the show today. So let's dive into your advice on how to land and expand a company in US B2B market. You highlight in your article the importance of clear go-to-market strategy. You say that the part of the effort and the capital of the startup must be budgeted for building the right market strategy, brand identity, messages, and value proposition. In short, having a killer product is not enough, which I 100% agree. So which one of those areas are the most difficult for companies from outside of US? And is there any specific advice you would offer to them?
So So well said, Artham. I would love to refer my another blog. I know you're referring to one of the blogs where I talk about how outside companies can come to US and become global brands. But there's another blog I wrote about what would Apple look like without Steve Jobs. That's one of my super passionate favorite blogs where I argue about, while you have a great product visionary and engineering team, you got to have an iconic go-to-market leader and a marketeer who can take the product and solution and make it a global success and something that the users would want to have as much as we want to have an iPhone, an Apple Watch, or a Tesla car, right? That those comes really from a very clear go-to-market strategy of who I am, where I'm going to sell, how I'm going to sell. Even if you take the case of Tesla, their go-to-market is they decided not to go with the distributors, right? While the rest of the car industry was reliant upon dealers, they shut the dealer network down and then they started going directly to the consumers. So not having a clear strategy, go-to-market strategy, would hurt any company, let alone a startup, in their market development. And also it will hurt in their capital raise activities because once you have a clear strategy and you know who you are and where you're going and how you're going to grow, then your ability to command better terms, better valuation, and also even choose the VC is a lot more higher. And I really hope, through this and with your support, we create enough noise in the system, positive noise, to bring in change that startups need to invest in building a clear strategy, knowing who they are,
Right.
where they are, knowing how they should grow. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. So another mindset that you address is an outdated tendency for some companies to cling to the license sales model rather than embracing a more updated view of enterprise sales focused on smaller contracts of shorter duration. So can you discuss those different approaches and tell us what to keep in mind as we move forward?
Another great question, Arkham. You're nailing it. This is the biggest myth